Hi friends, today I'm going to share with you my top baby essentials, my must-haves when it comes to my newborn babies. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Ruby. This YouTube channel is just where I share glimpses into my everyday life from my view as a homemaker. I am a wife, a mom of 3. I am by no means an expert when it comes to the newborn stage, but we have had 3 newborns in the last 4 years, and this is what I have found works best for me and for my little ones for our family. I broke everything down into about 7 categories. The first one we'll talk about is sleep. So newborns do a lot of sleeping, eating, and that's pretty much it. So sleeping, you need a sleep space for them. For our first 2, we used a little bassinet next to our bed. And to be honest, I know this is not everyone's story, but ours was we did not get the best sleep. It has been so nice this time around with our 3rd. Now that I have 2 other little ones to care for, I have gotten the best sleep. And I think it's because we're co-sleeping. It's been great. And so if that doesn't work for you, totally fine. There are so many options of bassinets, ones that scoot up right next to your bed. But baby needs somewhere to sleep. And if you are looking into co-sleeping, definitely do your own research on that so you feel comfortable with that. I was very opposed to that at first, but once I had 2 seasons of sleepless nights with 2 newborns, I knew something had to change. And so I looked into that, figured out the safe way to do that, and that's what we do right now. And then baby needs some blankets. I have a couple different kind of blankets. I have several swaddle blankets, just like very thin swaddles. And we use those for so many different things. But mainly we do wrap the baby in those. And they're very light. We live in Northwest Indiana, so can get quite cold here, and the summer is also very hot. And so I have several swaddle type blankets, just very light muslin blankets. I have a couple in between blankets, and then I have those like very soft and cozy ones, kind of like this blanket I have here. It's just like super soft and snuggly and just very warm and insulating for a little one. And so I have 3 different weights of blankets, if that makes sense. And then my husband and I don't mind sound machines, and so each of our kids actually has a sound machine, and I have loved those. I think they've been great. I can vacuum or do whatever and they don't usually wake up. And also I find it helpful. It becomes one of those things that they associate with sleep. Just like a dark room, they might associate with sleep. When I rock my babies in a dark room with the sound machine on, it's just like that one more thing that tells them, okay, it's time to go to sleep. And so I like the sound machines. And then the one that we have currently also has a little light on it. You can just swipe it and a light pops on. And that's really nice for the evening, just for when the baby wakes up. You can see just enough to change their diaper, and I don't find that it wakes the babies. I also have other night lights in my room. I have one more across the way, and the night lights that are they're dimmable. There's like a little switch on the bottom that you can brighten them or dim them. I've really liked those, and I've had one of those with each of our babies just across the room to help me see a little bit. So for baby sleep, they need a place to sleep, they need a blanket. If you use a sound machine, and then this time around I've used a pacifier and we've loved it with our 3rd. My other 2 kids never took a pacifier. I don't know if I just didn't try hard enough, like I didn't force the pacifier or not, but our 3rd has really loved the pacifier, and so that has been some essential that we've had for sleep. We have a humidifier in our room. Now that it is the colder season here in Indiana, the heat kicks on, and I find that in the evening our baby can get like stuffed up. And so we have a humidifier in our room that we only run at night. and that really helps him not get stuffed up. And so those are my essentials for sleep. Now for eating. I have used formula bottles, I have done some pumping, and I have nursed. And for this baby right now, I am nursing him. And so right now, as far as eating goes, he is obviously being fed from me. We don't have any formula or anything, but I do like glass bottles. I actually found some on Facebook Market. They're just Philips Avent glass bottles, and I've really liked those. They are very heavy duty. And so with the plastic bottles, you have to switch them out. Honestly, I don't know if it's every couple months or every couple years, but I just felt better having glass. So we have like 8-ounce Philips glass bottles, and then there are different tops you can get for the bottles with different flows. And so I have some, you can just Google or look on Amazon. I have the 1 flow, the 2 flow, and the 3 flow, and the lids for those bottles. So the different flows, he is using the 1 flow right now. And so if we go somewhere on a date night or something like that, I do use those glass bottles with the 1 flow topper, and those have been great. And then also I love the bottle scrubber. I don't know exactly what you call that, but I do have one of those bottle brushes next to my sink that I do use when we use the bottles, and that helps get it really clean. I don't use a bottle warmer or anything like that. If I have to thaw the milk that I've frozen, I just put it in a warm cup with, I put it in a cup with some warm water, and that just slowly thaws it out. Yeah, but I've never used a bottle warmer. I do have a pump. I've used a couple different ones in the past, and right now I have a hands-free one, which is very, very nice. I can just take it on the go wherever. In the past, I've had a Medela one that was like a huge purse. It just felt like it was just a lot to carry around. It worked great. It worked so well. But now that I don't need to pump as much, I just have a hands-free one, and it has like battery packs that go on the top, and you can just charge them whenever, and then it's portable. And so that's been really, really nice. So that is it for what we use for feeding our baby. I usually nurse them, and then I have those glass bottles and the different flow tops. And then I do have a hands-free pump. I have a bottle brush, and then those milk storage bags. I have some of those with a Sharpie marker and a little wooden basket on our counter. So whenever I do need to use them, I have a little marker that I can just write on the top of those freezer bags the date and how many ounces of milk I am putting in those bags to put in the freezer. But that is it for feeding my baby. Then next we have diapering. For diapers, I have cloth diapered. Right now I am not. So for diapering, it's very simple. We just use Walmart brand diapers. In the beginning with newborns, I do find that Pampers diapers are very soft on newborn skin, and I really, really like those because I've gotten like Target brand newborn diapers or like Walmart brand newborn diapers, and I don't feel like they're as soft on a little newborn. And so I do like to use the Pampers diapers on newborns, but once they get out of that newborn stage, size 1, 2, and up, I really do like just like Walmart brand diapers or Target brand. Like, we're just not very picky with diapers. And then we also use just fragrance-free wipes. I just buy the largest case of wipes that I can from Walmart, and I buy just the largest case of diapers that I can because I find that they're the cheapest when you buy a huge box of both of those things. But I always get fragrance-free wipes. And lastly, one of our kids always got very bad diaper rashes, and so there was a season where, I am not joking, I think I bought like every diaper cream that would be available at Walmart or Walgreens. We were just always using it, and I didn't like, none of them were working. And so finally I found one that I really like, and that is the Earth Mama diaper cream. It has like a green front, and I think it's called Diaper Balm. but that lasts us so long. You only need to use a tiny bit of it, and it really works. Like within one use, you can tell a noticeable difference. And so I really like that one. So those are the only three things. I don't have a diaper changing table or anything like that. I just change my baby wherever we are, whether that is on the floor, like on a blanket, or that's here on the couch, or that's up in our room on our bed. We just don't have a diaper changing table, especially we have 2 floors in our house, and it's just not practical to have like one area only where I change the baby. And so I just change the baby wherever. I have a little diaper caddy down here that just has diapers and wipes and that diaper balm. And then I also have diapers upstairs in my nightstand next to my bed with some wipes. Um, yeah, we just don't have a diaper changing table or anything like that. There's just a lot of different tools for diapering, and whatever works for you, awesome. But just what works for me is just diapers, fragrance-free wipes, and that Earth Mama diaper balm. The next category is clothing. And for clothing, newborns are just so sweet and small. There are so many different options as far as like zip up onesies, or I guess maybe some people call them sleepers, like zip up sleepers, or there's sleepers where the bottom is like elastic and you can just like fold that up, or you can have a onesie and leggings. For all of our kids, I've really liked the sleepers that just zip up. They're super simple during the night, especially when you want to change a diaper without waking them up. I've really liked the zipper ones because it can go so quickly. For our last baby, he always runs hot. None of my babies have ever like sweat, but he sweats very easily. And so for him, I've just used onesies and leggings. I don't even put socks on him. Now that it's getting colder, I do have some little socks I can put on him, but as long as he just has a little a little onesie and some leggings, like he's good to go. And so maybe if it's your first baby, get a couple different types, like get sleepers that zip up. Maybe you can get the sleepers with like elastic to see if you like just folding those up better, or get some onesies and some leggings just to find what you prefer. But with newborns, I really like just like the zip up sleepers. They're super simple and baby always looks so nice and cozy. Also, something that I did with our second, when we had our first, we had a shower and I got so many clothes for her. But when we had our second, our son, I went to a thrift store, a secondhand shop, and I bought all of his clothes from 0 to 6 months for under $100. And I've used all of those same clothes that I bought for our son Jack. I don't think we have bought one thing for him. But just know that if you were having a baby, or last time you had a girl and now you're having a boy and you don't have any clothes, going to resale shops, secondhand shops, thrift stores, especially on like half off days or when they're having a sale, you can find so many nice things, especially for newborns. They grow so quickly. I remember my daughter was in newborn and almost like preemie clothes for a little bit, but my son, when he was born, both of my boys were 8'1", and so newborn clothes didn't even fit them. And then they wore 0 to 3, and then they were out of 0 to 3 in like 2 or 3 weeks. And so just little babies, they don't stay little very long. And so buying a lot of clothes in every single size, they might not even go through them because they grow so quickly. And so just to buy maybe like 7 outfits in every different category, like 7 newborn, 7 0 to 3, something like that. At least I feel like that's like the sweet range for me, because they don't go through, like they don't really dirty their clothes unless they have a blowout. I just change them just to be in new clothes. Like they can wear the same outfit like for 2 days and they don't dirty it. And so if I have 7 outfits, like that'll last me for 2 weeks. I just don't find that I need a lot of clothes in every little size. But do what's best for you. I just know I could go to the thrift store and I bought 0 to 6 months worth of clothes for under $100, and I'm using all those same ones for our other son, and it's worked out great. But that's all we use for clothing. I don't buy any hats or Any mittens, I just keep their nails short if needed. And then for some reason, my kids have never worn hats. I just usually put the blanket up like close to their face if we're going out somewhere. Um, yeah, that's just, I guess, a personal preference of mine. And I don't normally have socks. I just do for my third, since he runs hot, I can take them on or off really easy. But you might not even need socks, especially if you have sleepers for your baby. But that is it for clothing. Okay, we have 3 more categories. The first one is bathing. For bathing, I just have little white muslin cloths that I specifically use for my babies. Those cloths don't get used for anything else, not cleaning, not washing our face, nothing. I have their muslin, kind of like the swaddle, they're like that muslin material, and they're all white, and there's like 6 of them, so I know whenever I'm folding and putting away our laundry, like those white muslin cloths are only for the baby. And so we have those for them. And then I also have this little bathtub I got off Facebook Market, and it's just a little bathtub the baby can just like sit in, and it's perfect. And to be honest, I don't use any soap or anything on our babies. I just rinse them off, since all that they would really have on them is them going to the bathroom, or if they have a blowout, I will use that rag and like wash them off. But I don't use anything with fragrance or like chemicals or anything like that. They're just so sweet, and their skin is so sensitive and new. For like the first few weeks and even month, like I don't use any soap or anything like that. I really do find that just like rinsing them off and like washing them just with some warm water with that cloth, it really does get them clean, or clean enough for me. So I don't use any soap or anything like that. All I use for bathing the babies is just those white muslin cloths and a little baby bathtub. Okay, so awake time. What we use for the awake time is just, I have a carrier. When they were newborn, I used a Solly carrier, and those are great. When they get a tiny bit bigger, I use the Ergo Baby. I found a black one on Marketplace when we had our last baby, and I use that all the time for him, and now I'm using it for our baby now, and it has been great. So when they're awake, or sometimes when I rock them to sleep, they'll take a couple naps in the carrier. I love baby wearing. It has been wonderful, especially if you have multiple kids. I find that baby wearing is amazing. So I do have the Solly carrier, the Solly wrap, and I also have the Ergo Baby carrier, and those have been great. The Ergo Baby one you can front wear or you can back wear. I mostly front wear with our babies, but it's been great. So when they're awake, I can have them in a carrier, and then I also have like a blanket. It's nothing fancy. I know there's like these like round cushioned pads you can buy at different places, and then that you can just like slide it around wherever, and your baby can lay on that. I just use a blanket that we have here in our house. It's like a throw blanket for the couch, but I just fold it up and we use that for the baby to lay on. And I'll lay it in the living room, I'll pick it up and lay it in the kitchen. I'll lay it wherever, and the baby can just lay right on there. So we don't have like a pad or like a play gym or anything like that. It's just a blanket. And then also we have a little seat, like a bouncer seat, and it has 3 different levels that the baby can like be laying down in it, or you can like sit it up so the baby's like more upright. And I think that's it. We have a couple toys. I just have like a little basket with toys. But honestly, I find that my babies don't even really play with toys until they're like maybe 3 months old. They can't even hold something for like several weeks, you know? And so as far as when the baby is awake, which is very small when they're like 0 to 3 months old, I just have the baby carriers, and I have a blanket. It's folded, so it's a large blanket folded a few times, so it's just like a small padded blanket for them. They lay on that, and then I have the little bouncer seat. I really like the bouncer seat because I can buckle them in that if I can't have my eyes on them all the time. We have 2 other little ones, and I don't want the baby to get run over or someone to step on them or something. And so if I can't keep my eyes on them all the time, I'll put them in that little bouncer seat where I know they're off the floor, the kids aren't gonna step on them, they're buckled in, they're safe. And then I'll just bring that around. If I'm in the kitchen, I'll bring it in the kitchen. If I'm getting ready or something, I'll bring it in my room. It's just very convenient that it's portable and you can bring it around wherever. So those are the things that I have for when the baby is awake. Lastly, the category is out and about, just the different essentials that I have when I take our baby out. First is a diaper bag, and our diaper bag is just super simple. I have an extra pacifier in there. I have a couple of diapers, I have a couple of wipes, and I have an extra outfit, of course, because I feel like with newborns, blowouts are pretty consistent, you know? So having a outfit change in the diaper bag is an essential for me. But then that is it. And so I just have a diaper bag, and it can be very small. Since we have 3 other kids, I have a larger diaper bag because I have another outfit change for my other son, and I have a ton of snacks usually, and my 2 oldest water cups. And so I have a larger diaper bag, but if I just had our one baby, it would be a very small diaper bag. We just don't need that much when we're out and about. I guess because I am nursing our baby, so I don't need formula or bottles or any of that stuff. If you do, then you might need a little bit of a larger diaper bag, but I find that I don't really need a large diaper bag right now. And then a car seat or a stroller or both, whatever would work for you. I've always just had a car seat for our kids, and then whenever we need to go somewhere, I'll just put them in the car seat, put them in the car, and then carry the car seat into the store and like put it in the grocery cart. We have right now what is called a doona, and I never had that with our other 2. I looked forever on Marketplace for one before we had our 3rd because I thought it would be really handy. And they, in my opinion, they were just a little too expensive for what I wanted to pay. But crazy story, we were on our way to church and my husband spotted a garage sale. This family had a doona out there on their front lawn for sale. So we're driving to church and my husband's like, "Did you see that? I think they had a doona." And I was like, "No way, like we've been looking for months." And so we actually already had our son. And so we actually pulled over, we asked them how much they wanted for it, and they literally gave it to us for $40. And if you look up how much those are like hundreds of dollars. And so the Lord was so sweet to give us that doona for our son Jack. And so that by any means is not a must-have, but it is definitely convenient if you have multiple little ones. It's a car seat. It goes from a car seat. You can take it out of your car and just like push a button and wheels come out of the bottom and then you can just push it like a stroller. It's super convenient. And so we do have that for our 3rd baby, but that is not a necessity. We were just thankful to find that. But you need some form of something to transport them. A car seat, a doona. If you think a stroller, you need a stroller. But we just have the doona. We have a diaper bag when we go out. We also have a mirror, which is really convenient. It goes on the back of the headrest. So when your baby's in the car, you can just look back and like look at the mirror and you can see your baby. You don't have to like break your back like trying to look around and see if your baby's okay. That mirror reflects your baby in the seat, so you can just look back at that mirror and know your baby's fine. For me, that is a necessity. It's been really nice. And then lastly, a car seat cover. Since we live where it can get really cold, we have like a fleece lined car seat cover that we put on when we're going like from the house to the car or from the car inside to church or wherever. We just had a car seat cover, and that's been very, very nice and definitely an essential for our babies to keep them warm and cozy in the colder seasons. And then in the cooler seasons, in the warmer seasons, I guess, we have like a light car seat cover that can go over them whenever we're out and about. If the sun is really bright or if it's a little windy that day, we do have like a nice light car seat cover. It's kind of just like elastic, and I think that you can like use them also as like a nursing cover. They can like go over your head. So it's just like that elastic, stretchy material. We just put that right over the car seat as a lighter car seat cover in the warmer months. But that is all of our out and about essentials. And then lastly, those are all of the categories I can think of and all the essentials that we use for our babies and what I have found works best for us. Lastly, they just need you. They need their mom. And if you are good, your baby will be fine. And taking care of yourself is so important. And I feel like I've had to learn this sometimes the hard way and just to care for myself. Like the baby's okay to be laid down in a safe spot and make yourself some food, make yourself a coffee, sit down and just read, or you can put the baby in a little bouncer seat where they're all buckled in and safe and take them up to the bathroom and you just take a shower. Just take care of yourself. For me, that has looked mainly like three things. First, that has looked for me like getting outside or just getting fresh air. With our third, I got a stroller that my toddler can fit in and our car seat can fit in. And then my oldest rides her bike. And I got this, I think it's called a sit and stride stroller. I looked for them and they were on Amazon for I think like around $100, but I looked on Marketplace and I got one for $20, which was such a blessing. But it enabled me, that stroller enabled me to actually get out of the house and like go on. We have a bike path by our house and go on walks with our kids when I was cleared that I could walk or start exercising and everything after I had our third. My daughter rides her bike, and then I can push my toddler in the stroller and my baby in his car seat and just go on walks in that fresh air and being outside and feeling the sun, the warmth of the sun on your skin. It feels so nice. And after I've had each of our babies, I have felt just like I really need to get outside. And that is something that I found is a need of mine. And then secondly is just good food, like nourishing food. Make sure you're eating well and that you are nourishing yourself. Just make good meals. Make sure you get protein. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And this time around, I've really liked drinking electrolytes. I feel like that has just helped me stay hydrated, especially when I am also nursing a baby. And so just making sure you're nourishing yourself. And lastly, is just being around. For me, I'm not a huge people person as far as like I don't like to be in like big crowds and I'm not one to just like go out to like have a good time. I really do enjoy being home. But when I'm home with a baby and like two other little kids 24/7, I really find that I need to get out and be with my friends or go to church and just be around people. And seeing people really does help me um, just feel better and feel like I have three kids and my life looks different now with a new baby. I have to slow down a little bit, but I can still go out. I can still do things. For this time and having my third, I have found that getting out and being with people or having even, I have a couple mom friends close to me that I'll just have over to our home. And it's just really nice to talk to another mom and know that she's like pretty much in the same boat as you are. You both care for little ones. And it's just nice to have friends and know you're not alone. And so just make sure you care for yourself because your baby needs you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was a help or an encouragement to you. If you know someone who's having a new little one, maybe this will help them in knowing what to put on their registry. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.